2, 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NugLife Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. You're listening to us live on EdgeStudiosOnline.com or the Edge Studios YouTube if you're actually watching our pretty faces as they bounce around the screen. And I am your host, Medicinal Mike, cannabis comedian, event host, now published author. Thank you very much. And we're here with Benji Cooper today. Benji Cooper, the Nug News. I'm so stoned right now, Benji. I'm trying to pull it together. They can hear you. I have your audio on. Today's show, we are going to have in from the Hemp Museum, Miss Amy Fisher, one of my good friends. We're also going to have from the Emerald Cup, the Godfather himself, Mr. Tim Blake. He's going to be on. It's going to be a great day. Big shout out and thank you to Paul Brumbaugh, who is doing all the cool things. So if I kind of sound like Darth Vader right now, I have like a weird, I might be broadcasting out of the bathroom sound. That's courtesy of Paul, who is also smoking with us. What's going on? Oh, Emerald Cup next week. This weekend. In where? Sonora County? Santa Rosa Fairgrounds. Thank you, Amy. And you'll be dealing with me learning the buttons here. It's my first time on this board. There's a whole bunch of buttons, and I want to push them all. I'm going to try and get them all pushed before the end of the show today. It's going to be fantastic. Your headlines this week, courtesy of Mr. Nug News, Benji Cooper. Cannabis delivery may be coming to Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. Why can't...
There you go.
Yeah, I thought you were playing with me. Why can't I hear him? I just see him.
You got to unmute him. You're good.
Oh, push the fucking button. Is that it?
Yes. He should be there.
Can I hear you, Benji? No? No. Where's my Paul button? Oh, well, that's happening.
Wow, that should be happening.
Well, just deal with us as we work out our kinks. I can see you making faces, Benji, and that's what's important. The other trick I have, sir, is right here.
Hello?
There's that. How does that sound?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Benji.
Okay.
I'm not turning off Paul's mic this whole thing. I want to hear every little curse. God, buttons, so many buttons. Benji, can you still hear me? All right,
Yes.
now you're coming in. What do they call that when they're like on a satellite? So you're a satellite Benji Cooper now. Cannabis delivery may be coming to Illinois. That's an actual thing. What does that mean, Coop?
Well, Illinois doesn't have, they have legal cannabis, but they don't have delivery yet. So while the governor, J.B. Pritzker, was touring the state's first social equity dispensary on Wednesday morning, the topic came up, and he said, without the data in front of him, he couldn't make a decision, but he supports the idea. He says he doesn't see a problem with delivery as long as there's, the proper regulation, proper rules put in place.
Do you remember the old like WKNR East? It was like East Coast News. It was like audio news. You have that same voice, like it's nostalgic. I feel like I'm in the backseat of my grandmother's Cadillac.
It's probably the microphone I'm using. It's not a great mic.
Wow, welcome to the club, buddy. Also in the news, new law eliminates federal medical cannabis research and cultivation.
Restrictions. That was the part I was talking about.
Set me up,
Yeah,
Benji.
so the Medical Marijuana and Cannabidiol Research Expansion Act went into law last Friday, December 2nd, and it will streamline the research application approval process for practitioners.
Oh shit! Do I have to hang up on one before I call him on the other?
No, keep going.
I tried to do a seamless switch from my cell phone. If you at home can't see this and you're just listening to the audio, there is chaos and madness here in the studio today. We got everybody really stoned before we started the show, and then we gave ourselves a good 4-minute timeline to get everything ready. And we are on time, though. That is all that counts. Only 2 minutes late, as opposed to last week's 43 minutes. So we're saving some of your life. That's what we've done today by taking this kind of time. We've actually saved your life. You will now live longer. If you wanted to learn Spanish, you can probably pick up 3 or 4 of the words.
It's progress.
Thank you for progress. Will you read the next headline? Because I can't hold the phone and read the headlines at the same time.
Oh, we were still talking about the same story.
But were we?
It's going to
I'm just kidding.
the act that got signed into law last Friday is going to allow for more research into cannabis and cannabidiol. So they're looking to register additional high-volume manufacturers who are looking to grow research for cannabis because from 1968 until 2021, the National Center for Development of Natural Products at the University of Mississippi had the only research cultivation license. And since then, there have been 6 more organizations that have gotten licenses. But with the act that was just signed into law, I believe that will open it up for a lot more research and cultivation for research.
Yeah, boring. I want better news stories. What happened to like when the guy smoked 14 joints and woke up in Newark? I used to get cooler stories. Now I get educational.
Progress is happening in the world of cannabis.
I forgive you. I forgive you. Too much progress nowadays. I cannot stand the way that the world works now with cannabis as opposed to how it worked during the 215 days. It is a complete 180.
More legal?
Right. Well, legal is just more taxed and exploited, and
That's true.
you're just looking at surface stuff. I'm looking at a sour flower. That could be
We
an
live in
actual.
California where legalization wasn't exactly done the right way here, so that's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. How you doing back there, Paul?
Doing fine.
I don't know how we did this setup. I still can't see you. So we switched everything around. We moved over into the second studio because I can't see Paul through the window and get the hand signals. And now he's sitting directly behind me.
So you could really see me.
All right. I could feel your breath, though. We're very close in here. And thank you for the hammerhead shark tank that he had built into the wall specifically for this show. You know what? I forget we're also on video. I lied. But it would be nice, Paul.
Yes.
Would be nice. Hammerhead sharks.
Hammerhead sharks.
What else you got in that headline there? Let's do some more headlines. Just
Dispensaries are
flaming train of fire. Go on, I'm sorry.
Certain dispensaries in a few states are returning to cash transactions after a cashless ATM crackdown. Under current law, as we
How is it an ATM if it's cashless? It seems like the purpose.
I'll explain.
Thank you.
Under the current law, we know card transactions are not legal, but dispensaries in California, Arizona, and Massachusetts were using a system that allowed customers to make purchases using a bank card. The technology made it appear as if the withdrawals were happening in different locations, and it sidestepped money laundering controls. And because of this, the NCR Corporation, you may have seen their logo on the machines before, they turned off the service. But point-of-sale solution provider Dutch
Can I
says
put
they're
my
working
phone
on
down yet, Paul? I'm sorry.
a
We're
in-depth solution to help the businesses. So if they may be coming up with a workaround that allows you to use cards at these dispensaries, because I don't get the point of having an ATM in there if you're just going to walk across the room and hand the cash to the bud tender. Like, why don't they just
Paul distracted me from that whole story, Benji.
and plug it into their car? Like, what's the point?
I know. He's waving around. We're trying to get you onto the big screen because this hurts my carpal tunnel.
You're not going to believe it
Is my audio
if I told
on?
you.
It's bad?
Yeah, kind of.
He didn't pay his subscription fee.
No, it's just that once you kill his video in the middle of a broadcast, it's hard to reacquire it without restarting the broadcast.
Oh, well, it's me and you in this hand, Benji. You are my left hand to life right now.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm trying to help. You might be able to hang up from there, but you would have to wait until the next segment.
No, I'm keeping you on, bro.
There
We're
you go.
staying on forever. This is just embrace the awkward.
because otherwise.
So I have to like hold the phone to the mic. No.
Here, hand me the phone.
Are you gonna do? Okay.
I'd be glad to hold it for you.
Shit. Yes.
You just gotta unmute his mic.
This small break is sponsored by Big Reds.
His mic should be coming through the board.
Oh God, that's so much better. You have no idea, man. Coop, I have no more notes anymore, though. And anybody out there sending me dick pics? Paul has the phone right now, but he's willing to also rate them.
All right, Benji, next news segment.
Bam, Benji. What's on your next news segment? Yeah, let's go. Let's crank this one.
So Missouri added Amendment 3 today to their constitution, which voters approved in November. And what that does is it legalizes cannabis in the state. Legal Missouri 2022 was the group behind the petition that got the amendment on the ballot. They had to get signatures from 8% of the voters in 6 of the state's congressional districts. And as part of the amendment, some low-level cannabis convictions will be expunged next week. And adult use sales are expected in February.
He's trying to jerry-rig you now, Benji.
Medical cannabis dispensaries in the state, they'll be allowed to get hybrid licenses that will allow them to sell adult use products.
Do me a favor, just for everybody at home that can't hear you. I'm not going to name any names, but it rhymes with Raoul. No, you're reading. They hear you, but it's kind of going in and out. Would you just do that headline one more time, pretty please? Just so that we're educational.
Okay, right.
I can edit
Do that
later.
same story again?
Yeah. Or not.
Yes,
not.
please.
Okay. So, cannabis is legal in Missouri because they added Amendment 3 to their constitution today. And the voters approved that back in November. Hear me all right?
Yep, beautifully.
Okay, awesome. To get it on the ballot, they had to get 8 signatures from 8% of the voters in 6 of the state's congressional districts. And what the act will do is legalize cannabis, of course, across the state. Medical dispensaries will be allowed to get hybrid licenses that will allow them to sell adult use products. And under the act, next week, some low-level cannabis convictions will be expunged, and adult use sales are expected to start in February. So, congratulations, Missouri. You got legal cannabis.
Yay. I've actually been to Missouri and seen some of the swamp people that live out there. Very, very nice, too. Everybody's very welcoming. I call them swamp people because we went to the Ozarks, and they actually live on the swamp.
They got a pretty cool arch there in one of their towns.
All right, well, I'm going to thank you for helping me. I think that was the worst opening we've ever done in our history, Benji, and I thank you for being a part of it with me.
It ranks. It definitely ranks.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, wow, we used to be on FM. We were on 5 days a week. What the fuck happened? I would like to figure out how to use this board and introduce our first guest today, who is one of my favorite people in the world. I have known this young lady since the beginning of pot time, before it was even pot, when it was just a seed. The flower had not even grown yet. And she was out there. She was one of the very first, like a real activist, you know, somebody who put themselves out there. She used to have this cool green dress with her boobs cut out of it, but in a tasteful activism way. And there was always a message, you know. She's like, well, you're looking at these. Welcome to the show from the Traveling Hemp Museum. She's also the proprietor of that, the creator, and then travels with all the artifacts in her car as we speak. It is full to the rim. There's trophies falling out of the windows. Welcome to the show, Amy Fisher. Amy, welcome to NugLife Radio.
Thanks, everybody. Nice to be here.
Thank you for putting up with that intro. Usually my intro is 3 minutes long. There's no stuff.
Well, I kind of got you high with some nice Mendo Gardens.
Yes, this was your fault. This is your fault. You got me, you got Paul.
It was my fault. Sorry.
You nailed everybody today. You are a native of San Francisco? Or?
I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been here all my life. I've moved out of state a few times, but I always come back.
And what got you into before we even talk about the hemp museum, what got you into being such an activist? Was there one specific moment that you're like, I'm going to give my life to cannabis and cannabis education?
Well, to start out, it started actually out as a joke. I made a costume, went to Cheech and Chong and had front row seats, and everybody took pictures, and the next week it was like being on America's Most Wanted. So I had people asking me to make them costumes. So I started being an activist and putting out our message as far as what we were trying to preach that week, whichever amendment, whichever phrase we were doing. I've had about 20 different costumes over the years, and they've all been mostly politically correct, and trying to show our community that there can be laughter and fun in our community. It's not a bunch of seriousness where everybody has to take cannabis seriously. It's a medicine that makes everybody happy.
So, and I want to bring up one of my favorite things about you. Like, if you know Amy out there in real life, and this is Amy Fisher, the Hemp Museum Amy, not Joey Buttafuoco Amy. There is quite the confusion. But she would walk around these events, and this is way before legalization. 215 had just come in.
About 2008 we started.
And she would be like, hey, you want some fudge? And you'd say, yeah, I want some fudge. And she would dig into her pocket and pull out what must have been in there since the beginning of time. It's just a wad. It was the stoniest. Like, you would be inebriated, like it would like spinning stoned, where you're like, okay, how is this legal? Do you still make that fudge?
Oh yeah.
What kind of
I'll
milligrams?
have some for you this weekend.
What kind of milligrams is in
right
there?
now, I'm making like 4,000 milligrams at a time into 2 cookie sheets.
Into 2 cookies.
Yeah, into 2 cookie sheets. So I've been making them into like 24 200 milligram containers basically when I hand them out, and people just keep eating it, and I tell them please start small, but I have to start giving regular fudge with the medicated stuff so you guys don't overdose yourself anymore.
So are you, there you go, Paul, I'm a good guy. You're doing and you have been for quite some time now, the Hemp Museum, the traveling Hemp Museum.
Yes, I started the Hemp Museum in about 2008 while I was working with the Jack Herer Initiative. I didn't like looking like a stoner with the clipboard and wanted to show people what we were trying to re-implement into society. And we went around and we gave the speeches about paper, fuel, hemp, fiber, medicine, and I started collecting all of those things for my museum. We have artifacts dating back to the 1700s right now.
You're like King Pharaoh Tutankhamun's pipe.
Yeah, we do have an Aztec pipe that's about 500 or 600 years old that's in the collection. Yeah, that is actually our oldest piece.
Oh, I'm comfortable now. This is nice. You had some really cool stuff. So you would have buildings. I've seen you at brick and mortar places.
Yeah, I've done. I got together with the Hollywood Hemp Museum for a little while, and then that fell apart.
It's the nicest way you could have said that. I had a great time there. Some others, not so much.
I'll move on from that one. But yes, no, this last couple of years, we did the Emerald Museum with Richard Jorgensen, who invented the prototype. So we had the Emerald Museum in Willits, and we did that for a little over a year. So it was great for the community to come in and see, because most of the time everybody only sees my things at events, as
your
it's called
things?
the Traveling
Is that
Hemp
what we're
Museum.
calling them now?
Well, the artifacts. We have a plethora of artifacts. We have things from Africa from the 1700s.
What's your favorite item that you have? If you had to,
I
there's a
guess
fire,
one of the
everything's
newest
burning, you can grab one.
I don't really know if there is a one favorite, but I know the one that gets the most attention at shows is actually the Adidas tennis shoes. I don't know how many people try to come and try those on at the booth and buy them off my table.
Whose shoes? Are they somebody's shoes or just
They
regular?
were something I bought off of eBay for the museum. They're hemp sambas.
Oh, so the shoes made of hemp.
Yeah. Hemp sambas.
See,
You can still find them on eBay.
You bought one of those shoes that skyrocket in value,
Yes.
and then
I've got a couple pairs.
Yeah, what are they valued at right now?
Right
Like,
now,
just if
probably
you were
about
buying a hemp
$400.
Oh, yeah.
If you can find them in good condition.
Yeah.
I've seen bad ones for about $75.
My shoes cost $12. $12. There's no hemp in them, but I've dropped enough weed rolling into the shoe where it might qualify for the museum.
Yeah.
So the future for the Hemp Museum?
Okay, actually, we have some really good news for the museum. I've been asked to go to Hawaii to do the Cannabis Expo there, so I will be bringing parts of the museum to the Hawaii Expo, as well as doing Spain in Barcelona with Mila Jensen doing Dabadoo,
Mila.
and I love Mila. We'll be in Barcelona for about 3 weeks doing different showings with the museum at the different social clubs, possibly ICBC and Spanibus. We're waiting to hear back from lawyers from ICBC about the different artifacts I want to bring.
And if you don't know who Mila is, how do you say her last name?
Mila Jensen.
Jensen. She's written an awesome book, and she is the queen of hash. Like, if you want to really...
the pollinator bags for water hash.
If you want to be educated on an awesome person, and she's still very much living and amazing... this is like a walking legend, you know,
Yes.
so make sure you check that out. Educate yourself.
I'm really looking forward to doing Dabadoo with Mila and working through Spain. And then also in February, we're actually going to be combined with CBCB in Berkeley. As we know, Andrea Special used to work with Dennis Perrone. Dennis had the Cannabis Buyers Club for San Francisco. Andrea has the one for Berkeley. So we are going to be doing an educational speech. She says, Cannabis Buyers Club of Berkeley, operating since 1996, this February. CBCB will launch a legacy speaker series that will feature legendary cannabis figures. So most OG people, you know, people have never heard of, basically will be coming in to talk. And, well, we need to educate our younger generation on our past activists and the history of cannabis.
See, and that's why I date them. Because the entire
You
time
have
I
been
take them
through
to
a
the
few of
Olive
them,
Garden,
yes.
give her the endless pasta.
As well as the biggest names in cannabis. In coordination, we will be hosting my traveling hemp museum for the public to come out and enjoy. The series will be open to the public at CBCB, as well as broadcasted to share cannabis tales of the Wild West and all of our adventures.
See, now I wish I had the soundboard for that. Where's Carlos when you need him?
As we know, you and I have been on
Have we stayed
adventures
over at the
the years.
Perrones? If you don't know Dennis Perrone is one of the creators of the Proposition 215. Passed away not long
Opened up
ago.
the first cannabis club in San Francisco, expected to be arrested, and instead was praised and is still loved and cherished to this day.
And through the best parties,
yes.
I got to do some sleepover. I feel like you were there too, right?
I was there for a few of them. Yes, we that's what I'm saying. You and I have
me,
been on a few
you,
adventures in the
MJ,
industry over the years.
and some other people, maybe Ray, but
Ray
the whole
was there.
backyard,
Marilyn J was there.
the whole
We had the whole
backyard
CCHI crew there, dude.
is painted
Melissa
like.
Balin was there.
Oh, yeah.
We had everybody.
And then the backyard, if you haven't seen this, was painted
it's
a different color, every flower leaf, every board that you walk across. And then you would have these rooms, right, in the back that looked like where Robin Hood's Lost Boys lived.
Yes.
And you would go in there, and there was mirrors on the ceiling immediately. And I was like, I love this place, you know. And I've been there quite a few times.
Yeah.
And love him and his family, his brother.
Oh, yes, we have Brian and
Brian, thank
Jeffrey
you.
still at the house. Well, Brian moved out, but we're still all there, basically. I'm going to be going over there after I'm done here with you, so I will send your love to everybody.
Yes, please do. And shout out to Wayne, big Wayne out
yeah,
there.
no, Wayne wants to come on
Big
and
old
be
bear.
a guest.
Oh,
So
I'd
you'll
love
have
him.
Wayne
Love to
on
have
in the
him.
next couple of weeks if you want him. He's yours.
You gotta
I'll
wait
share
till-
my girlfriend with you.
Thank you. All right. And these people say you don't get perks. We don't get paid, but we get perks, Benji.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We meet some wonderful people along the way, Mikey. We really do.
Oh,
you and I.
there's just been insane people. Who's that? Oh, don't answer that right now.
Yeah, we need to
Well, I
try
guess I
calling
would.
in
I
at
don't know if they're
3:20.
calling in during the show, but I got Tim Blake calling in at some point. And is he calling in on my phone or he's calling in on Paul's
Supposed to
phone?
be calling.
Who is it? Call, answer. Let's see what he says. Let's take a caller for you, Amy.
Okay.
Hey, Spicoli. Oh, he can't hear me because he's all the way down there, right?
You turned on. You got to turn on his mic.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Shit all over your mic, bro. Just.
Oh, nope. Wrong button.
Don't worry,
Fourth
man.
one over. There you go.
There was so many buttons. Oh, that's what it is. I just turned your
Yeah,
volume
you
down.
turned him down.
All right. Hey, caller. Spicoli, you're on the air. You better be calling because you're listening to the show right now. Spicoli.
What up?
What up? You're on the air. We are live on the air with Amy Fisher at the NugLife Radio show.
Fantastic.
And you called. So what's the answer to the mystery question?
I'm not sure exactly the answer.
You know what?
I guess I called in at the wrong time.
We didn't ask one, so that's a winner right there.
Sweet! Oh, man. This is awesome. I call my buddy Mike. I end up live on the air.
Say something to Miss Amy Fisher, not the Joey Buttafuoco one.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And
Nice to meet you.
Anybody hanging out with Mike is definitely a bird of a feather of mine. You know, we all flock together.
No, we're all a real close community. We've had some wonderful times over the years.
So we're gonna send you tickets to the Jackson 4, Spicoli. I hope you enjoy that show.
Sweet.
And we'll talk again later.
Sounds great. I can't wait to go to that concert.
That was our first caller that called in. You're the first caller, Spicoli. Thanks for calling, brother. We used to have a guy that did that too. Just push the button. That's Spicoli. You see why we call him Spicoli? You got Tim?
Texted Tim.
Oh, you texted Tim.
Well, I texted him and said call in on.
Why are you talking so far away? Remember, he's still on a show.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Stone.
sorry, I forgot. Yeah. No, I texted him, so we'll have him call in just a second.
And if you don't know, we'll give you a little intro. He's never too busy, Tim Blake. Tim Blake is the creator of the Emerald Cup. The Emerald Cup is one of the finest competitions. I'm sure he had a team and blah, blah, blah. But Tim Blake is the creator. The HNIC was of the Emerald Cup. And the Emerald Cup was the only cannabis competition out there that still had integrity. And if you've dealt with cannabis competitions throughout, when it was illegal and legal, it's all weird now. You didn't used to be able to just buy your trophy, which is, you have a lot of that going on now. So whoever had the biggest budget at said show, which was the High Times, rhymes with High Times, they would just buy trophies, basically, and you'd see them, and you would just be pissed. But then you'd go to the Emerald Cup, where it was just one community. It's almost like a Burning Man for weed and no fire.
We're a very loving tribe that takes care of each other.
And I've seen Tommy Chong there. I got to meet Kevin Smith there. Yeah. Pony Boy plays over there. Skip over that, whatever. And I just see Amy's face.
Actually, Pony Boy's never played Emerald Cup.
I've opened for him.
Oh, you at Emerald Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how I know Tim.
He wasn't complaining that he he hadn't gotten to play Emerald Cup when I talked to him last year. He wanted me to try and get him on the list.
No, this was years. This was at the beginning of time, back when I was still a funny stand-up comic. Now I'm a bitter one. But yeah, I've seen all kinds of great entertainment there. I've smoked some of the best cannabis in the world. Like literally, you have like the top growers from everywhere, and they are all meeting together at this one spot to see who has the best of the best.
I love going to watch the display, look at the display cabinet every year. They have glass display cabinets with all of the samples and the names.
Have you gotten the judges kit? Have you tried the judges kit?
No, I haven't gotten to be asked to be a judge yet. I've applied the last few years, but I haven't gotten chosen yet. So I'm waiting for that.
How are they choosing? They're that serious?
There's a lot of it. I've had people actually say they want to help me get my brand in there to have it in there for judging.
I wish you should see if they still have one of the first Emerald Cup boxes that they put out, like the first pattern of the judges kit. That would be cool to see.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool.
I've
got a couple of like old tote bags, and then I bought the backpack and stuff.
I have a collection of trophies that were not. I didn't win any of them, but I hosted the shows, and I was the guy that passed them out. So I would take like third place best sativa grown by a left-handed Hispanic boy, stuff that nobody's winning. I will donate some of them to you, and I have from all different shows, and like from Alaska one, because I know they'll be safe and they'll be in a museum.
We can have Marilyn's husband build he's a woodworker, as you know, so we can have him build the case for us.
Which one?
John. The second one.
John? Oh, John.
John.
I love John.
Sorry, bro.
John.
Not Peter.
Small world.
You forgetting about that one?
Oh, no, I'm not forgetting about any of them. What a great show. You want to just sit with the news and comment on news stuff?
That's fine. Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
I had a sound bite, but I don't have my phone anymore, Mr. Cooper.
You do now.
I do?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, and I'm.
But we could still.
Hey, and we got Benji cameras working, but hey, we don't have.
His audio?
Your camera went on.
My camera went off. Okay. Well, all right. We are doing great here. You don't have to look at me anyway. I'm a beautiful person, though, so if you did get the opportunity to, it would only be your luck. Benji, say a couple words so I could see. Say something. No, why don't I hear him? Is that me again?
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. Oh, yeah. Welcome to NugLife Radio, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. We are hiring right now for a producer. No experience necessary. I'm just teasing. Paul's doing the best he can out there, for real, for real. We just have a lot going on because it's the first times that we're doing this. It's the second time. So we make jokes, but he knows we're just messing with him. Bam, look at that. I'm back on camera, sucking my gut, bring the chin in.
But I still can't get you on the screen.
But you still can't get me on the screen. Well, you don't have to look at me. You can listen to me out there. I do have some comedy shows and stuff coming up.
Awesome.
I don't know where.
Around here?
I can't remember. I'll be in San Diego this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to probably do some jokes there and see what happens. And I can't remember where, so maybe I'll find a flyer. I never know till like the day before my shows. Like Paul knows, when he books me, he's got to call me like every 10 minutes and just be like, hey, do you remember? We have a show in an hour. Like, yeah. So I have a good time. If you haven't seen Paul Brumbaugh, say your freaking name. Paul Brumbaugh does a lot of comedy out here in San Francisco and all over, but he's produces comedy shows as well. So a lot of the amazing talent that flows through the beautiful city of San Francisco. Let me tell you, too, why I think San Francisco's garbage. Wait, this is what I want to know, because this is a real issue out here, too, and I took a lot of heat this week while they work on Benji's microphone, and we figured that out. They are smoking fentanyl, and you hear about fentanyl. I've seen on TV.
I've had several parents who have lost kids due to fentanyl.
It is beyond insane out here, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for people who are doing. I did drugs back in the day. I was doing the bad stuff, putting a lot of poison in my body, and I stopped because I wanted to live, and things mattered to me. But while I was in that dark hole, I was a criminal, and when I go outside here, I seen one or two people smoking out of the tinfoil like it was nothing. I guess all drugs, I just heard, are legal and personal use in San Francisco in certain amounts. So, hey, Paul.
Nobody can see me.
Nobody can see you? I can see you, Paul. You're 3 inches from me. I can feel the heat from your armpit and my crotch. So
Are you cold?
So close. So I had posted some videos, but anyway, Paul took me, and let me tell you, and then we'll lead up to this. Paul took me down the street, and 1 minute away, I mean 1 minute, and I saw 200, no less than, and I'm going to show you guys too, 200 people smoking off of foil, and these were not homeless people. These were people who look like they just got off of work, they're fresh and they're clean, and they are just all smoking off of tinfoil and burning this crap everywhere. And it shocked me, because I'd never seen anything that bad. I've seen one or two people. This first time I ever saw fentanyl, and I saw it in handfuls. People just walking around with handfuls of fentanyl.
It's really getting bad here. I mean, we thought the crack was bad years ago, but
this is
killing people. This is so beyond it. It's killing
people
so fast.
Get a bulldozer.
Just one pill, just one generic fake pain pill that they're buying off the street can kill them.
When they're getting that stuff. Usually they don't know fentanyl's in it. They'll go and buy crack or meth or whatever they're doing. These people are buying straight fentanyl. And I'm like, how are you guys alive right now? Like, how is that even possible? Oh, I don't know what just happened to my voice, Paul, but did you hit a button? Sounded good. Is it good?
Oh, good. I'm glad it's good.
Did you do it?
I don't know.
Nope, talking to the mic. Don't you dare, Amy.
503-3435.
We can't. Come on, to that mic. Go to the mic. You could do it. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so
Now I can hear you better.
650-503-3436.
That's our number, isn't it?
35. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to give to Tim right now to call in. So that's why I'm asking. That's the one I need to have him call in to.
So we'll have on shortly Mr. Tim Blake of the Emerald Cup, the legend himself. He's one of the coolest people, too, because, when I've worked in media for so long, and anytime I had to go and get footage or, do something, he's the easiest person to deal with, just the easiest person to deal with. He's very for the cause. He has, the compassion. He's helping people. And that's like a lost quality nowadays. You tried to get into a HempCon, and I hosted the show, and they're like, "Where's your bracelet?" And I'm like, "I'm in a suit. I'm hosting the show." There you go, Amy. Let me know when you want to talk again.
Yeah, no, I just got a message from Phoebe, Tim's assistant, so they're trying to call in.
Do you just name drop on me? Just flexing? I got Tim Blake calling me. Method Man's going to hit me up later.
Okay, Emerald Cup, Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Is that December 10th?
We are going to be doing the Elders photo shoot. I started a tradition at Emerald Cup several years ago where we get all of our elders from the cannabis community, our activists, our growers, our friends, our community, and we have a giant family reunion every year and do a photo shoot. So I was just informed photo shoot will be at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Also will be a Elder Roots Council meetup for the Mendocino County. So
well, that's fantastic. Is that open to everybody?
Elders, yes, everybody will be there. If anybody is actually interested in meeting the people who made cannabis legal for you and have fought for the last 50 to 60 years, please come out to the Emerald Cup Saturday and show your support.
Yes, and be ready to smoke because it's legal now there.
God.
Remember when it wasn't legal and we still did it anyway?
It keeps going to voicemail. Your phone keeps going to voicemail.
Well, there you go. Have them call mine.
Phoebe's calling me.
No, okay. Put Phoebe on the speakerphone.
Keep going.
Hi, Phoebe. You're on.
Hey,
Sorry.
Phoebe.
Hi, you and Tim there?
Yeah, this is Tim.
Hey,
Hi,
Tim. How you doing? I'll take it from here. Tim, welcome to the NugLife Radio Show. We're happy to have you. As I was telling him, you are one of my favorite people in the entire world. The Emerald Cup that you created. I'm sure you had a great team as well. But you did God's work, man. That is the only show that stood the test of time. And how are you today, sir?
Well, I'm doing very well. Thank you for that glowing set of appreciations there. I really, it makes it worthwhile. A lot of work goes into putting these things on.
And what was it that inspired you to create what I call the only show that's ever had integrity out of any of the cannabis events I've been to? And I hosted 90% of them. They were all horrible, except for the Emerald Cup.
Yeah, well, it helps when you start out not really trying to make money. You're doing it for the community and the love of it. And we never have done it for the money. It's for, it's for our culture and for who we are. So it doesn't make really a lot of money for your partners because we're always doing so many things for the community. But as far as the community feeling it, they can feel the love and they know what we put into it. So, I mean, we have the elders community that we bring in. We got the deaf community. We've got, help the disabled. We've got the, every Tom, Dick, and Harry we get in there to help out. So we really go on great lengths to make sure everybody's included.
You've always done a great job including the museum, and I'm so grateful. And I just got the message from Phoebe that we'll be doing the photo shoot at 6 o'clock. So looking forward to having everybody there.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a wonderful moment. The Area 101 Lounge. Amy's done a great job of shepherding all the elders over all the years. And this year we're kind of folding them all into the Area 101 Lounge. And we've got the psychedelic community, Dragonfly, the elders, the deaf community, all of our family, Swami, Nikki, everybody coming in. So it's going to be an amazing group of people there.
And how long has the Emerald Cup been going on now?
This is our 19th year. We started in 2004 just with one flowers contest, a couple hundred people, a couple dozen entries. Most people were in masks. They thought we'd be arrested. And who would have ever thought that we'd end up with, over 50 competitions and over 100 judges and just the size and scope of what we do now.
Have you ever had any, I've done shows where you have, SWAT teams sitting out front. Have you ever had those kind of issues over the years with the event?
Probably the funniest story was the second year. We were still doing it up at my place, Area 101, right on the highway, 10 miles north of Laytonville, and we had a big crowd that second year, and the local CHP came by, and there was cars on the highway, so
he finally stopped, and my guys came and got me, and I came outside. He was like, what's going on here? What is happening? And just then a bunch of cars were driving by. Their windows were down. Pot smoke was coming out. And he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I could arrest every one of these cars going out, and I want to know what's happening. And just then my announcer was going to announce the winners on the stage, and he was saying something like, yeah, and, there was a purple Kush, and he heard that, and he's like, I have no idea what's going on in there, but I just want this all to stop. Get these cars off the highway, clean this up. And so I went inside and got on the mics and tried to get people to move their cars, and people were just like, they weren't having it. They didn't care. So I looked at this crowd, and I went, well, whatever. I told my guys to keep an eye out. He drove by us about 3 or 4 times and just surrendered and went out in the middle of nowhere Saturday night. Not much back then. There wasn't much backup, and he just gave up.
And were they always as big as the Emerald Cup is now? Because, I mean, that is a sizable event.
No. It started out with just a couple hundred people that first year. Then people heard it. We didn't even put a poster out that first year. It was just word of mouth, and it was disguised as 2 birthday parties. Then the second year, we put a little poster out only on the, on the backwoods, bulletin boards and whatnot. But we ended up doing an all-night party. It kind of started the whole psychedelic nature of going all night, and it ended up going from 200 people to like 700. And it grew a lot, but it just grew each year until we moved down to Sonoma County Fairgrounds about 8 years ago, and then it went up to 15,000, 25,000, 30,000. It just became a large show, and then the contest evolved, to where, like we said, one contest over to 50, and so it's been an amazing journey over the 20 years to watch it evolve.
And where's like the dream final destination of it? Like, what's the model for 10 years from now?
Well, we moved the main awards ceremony and celebration to LA last year because we wanted our contestants and our vendors and sponsors to be on the biggest, stage and the biggest cannabis market, media market in the world. And so we moved the main Emerald Awards down there, and that's going to stay down there. We had Woody Harrelson join us last year. But we kept the Harvest Ball in Santa Rosa, which is a cultural event. People can come see the latest flowers and genetics and get together with everybody. So we'll continue to do a show in Santa Rosa, and then we'll also next year do a large consumer show down in LA. And then we're looking forward to going out to New York and spearheading a contest out there and a couple other places around the country. We actually stopped in England 2 years ago before COVID, and with Product Earth, and we were going to go out there, and we're just waiting for everything to settle down, so we'll go back to Europe too.
And where can people find you, Tim? I'm figuring out this mic. Where can people find you? Like, like online, not in real life.
Well, TheEmeraldCup.com is our website and page, and The Emerald Cup, you can look that up for Instagram and Facebook also, and so you'll find us. We're also on LinkedIn, and we have quite a sizable following on Instagram and our other sites and whatnot, but you can get all the information at TheEmeraldCup.com.
And one last thing, Tim, what is your message to the cannabis world?
I want to give them hope. It's been a very tough 5 years. I voted for Prop 64, because they promised to never have large-scale farming for 5 years. They opened that up immediately. We're going through a real extinction event for small farmers and legacy farmers, but once we get interstate opened up, and once people really start looking for the California brands across the country and the world, it'll really come back. On the other side, I'm really glad 64 went through, because mainstream folks are comfortable getting access to cannabis, and nobody's going to jail anymore for long-term prison sentences. And the rest of the country fell once California fell, and the rest of the world. So I'm really proud of where it's going with cannabis and plant medicines and psychedelics following right behind it. And we've got a renaissance coming in, and it's going to really change the hearts and souls and minds of humanity, and we're going to get off these pharmaceuticals, and people are going to be a lot happier and more balanced and a lot less mental issues.
How long you think, Tim, before it's a psychedelic cup?
There's already one, but we're talking about one right now. The Hyphy Cup has already started. We'll probably have one either together with the Hyphy Cup or on our own within the next year or two, and you're going to see those pop off very quickly. It's amazing how fast psychedelics and plant medicine have come behind cannabis. Cannabis kind of like the linemen, they knock the holes in the wall down so that all the psychedelics could run behind it. It's all good for society, because the microdosing is helping people with PTSD, depression, everything you can think of. So it's really good for people to use in a medicinal way. recreational as well, and it shows you where the world's going to go right now. So I'm really pleased with it.
Well, Tim, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go. I don't want to take up any of your time. I know you're super busy. Saturday, December 10th, right? December 10th, the Emerald Cup in Santa Rosa, California. Saturday and Sunday. So bring a change of pants. Tim.
And an umbrella.
Well, umbrella for Saturday. Sunday's going to be a clear day. We'll be okay. And it looks like Saturday will clear up later in the day. So we have a lot of comfortable space indoors. The Area 101 space is really good. All the buildings are warm. You really don't have to go outside that much. So it's almost a rain-proof show. So it'll be good. Come and join us. We'll have a lot of fun. Lots of samples, lots of treats. People have a good time.
Well, thank you for joining us, Tim. We appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you this Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. That was Tim Blake from the Emerald Cup. The Emerald Cup, again, is Saturday, December 10th in Santa Rosa, California. It's worth traveling for. It's definitely a bucket list destination. If you want to see it done right, make sure you go out there and check out the team at the Emerald Cup. And you'll see Amy Fisher out there, too. She has a photo shoot. That's going to be at 6 p.m.?
At 6 p.m. Saturday, probably in Finley Hall. We look forward to having all our elders and cannabis patients with us and having them meet who, legalized cannabis for them, because our elders need to be shown the support they deserve.
Amen for that.
People would not have access to cannabis without these people, and you need to stop taking it for granted.
I've been taking credit for the whole thing, so you can all thank me.
You're one of the few people who actually shares the credit and gets out the
Yeah,
information.
that's what I always did, is getting those elders and giving them a voice, because they don't know social media.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
we have to stick up for them, We're here to protect them and make sure they are appreciated for what they did for us.
Amen. Amen. Coming up now on the NugLife Radio Show, a higher level of education for the cannabis counterculture community. You're listening to us live on Edge Studios online right now. I want to welcome to the portion of the show where we get to find out what's going on in the news, but not without me interrupting the entire time like I do in the beginning. Welcome, everybody, back. It is Mr. Benji Cooper.
So Leafly
Holy shit, it works.
It works, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome, huh?
Don't worry, I'll drop our
Leafly has announced the strain of the year for 2022, and that award goes to a hybrid strain by the name of Jealousy. Jealousy is a sherbet gelato hybrid that came from a collaboration between Cookies and Seed Junkie Genetics called Mints with 2 N's. Caryophyllene is the strain's dominant terpene, with some limonene and myrcene mixed in. And according to Leafly, users say the strain is mentally relaxing but physically energizing. And now, talking about award shows and money, Leafly says it bases its decision on standout strains in the cannabis industry that can affect consumer demand. The company calls the strain of the year a kingmaker that can influence tastes and purchases. Now, this is the 5th year that the company has been handing out the honorary title. The previous winners were Dosey Does in 2021, Runts in 2020, Wedding Cake in 2019, and Gelato in 2018. And if any of those seem familiar, then Leafly's probably pretty accurate with the strain of the year and what they say about it. Mike, are any of those on your list of favorites?
Yes. Well, no. Yes. There's a lot that are favorites. I'll tell you now, I heard that, I won't even say which one, but one of the strains in there that's very, very popular is a stolen strain that was stolen from Matt Burke from OG Kush. The guy who created OG Kush had one of his strains stolen, and that person started a whole company with that strain.
Scandalous.
There's so many scandals we knew. If we came together and wrote a book, we'd sink the cannabis industry.
It rhymes with nookies. What else you got in the news there, Benji?
Well, speaking of the cannabis industry and companies in California, and no one will deny that the cannabis industry can be very competitive and difficult to succeed in, especially in California. Small companies have to go up against big names in the industry and compete for the attention of both dispensaries and consumers. But now one of those big names is giving small craft growers a big opportunity to get their flowers on shop shelves and into people's bowls or whatever you prefer to smoke out of. Curaleaf recently launched a program called Growers Reserve in California, And through the program, Curaleaf will release an ongoing series of limited edition collaborations with small craft growers and what the company calls diverse operators. Among the releases so far are Nepali Sunrise from Delighted Farms and Cherry Cheesecake from Sonoma Hills Farm. After doing a little looking around, I wasn't able to find a place online to sign up for the program, so I'm not sure if it's something where they contact you or you'd contact them, but if you're a small craft grower and you're interested in Curaleaf's program and having the large company, from what I understand, the largest cannabis company in the world, pushing your flowers in dispensaries in California, it never hurts to ask, right?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. What do you think about that, Amy? You're just digging in your purse over there. This is the biggest purse I've ever seen.
I almost forgot to give you, so I'm just getting it out. We also have a place here in San Francisco that's really cool that just opened called the San Francisco Buyers Club. And I don't know if you've heard of it yet, Mike. What it is it is a place for our California dispensaries to go and brand shop the latest cannabis brands. They give you an awesome, if you own a dispensary and you want to come in for a visit, they give you an awesome sample box to take home and try out.
That's cool. She
cool.
works for them, you can tell. She's probably just got
Sounds like a
herself.
pretty cool
She just got a
idea.
whole sample box right now. All right, drop it in the mail. What else you got in the news, Mr. Cooper?
Let's see. Well, whoops, wrong graphic there.
What is that? It was a picture from your evening last night and just slipped
There we
right
go.
out.
There we go. Cannabis has been legal in Connecticut for about a year and a half now. The state has been building out the cannabis industry's infrastructure components like supply chain and licenses in anticipation of legal sales. Now, legal sales are supposed to begin soon, but before that happens, Connecticut is clearing away some more remnants of prohibition. Thanks to the state's clean slate law, in January, approximately 44,000 people will have low-level cannabis convictions cleared from their records. As we know, a person that has a cannabis conviction on their record can be subject to all kinds of repercussions, like preventing them from getting a job or a place to live. And to be clear, with this clean slate bill, there are some qualifications to the expungement. The possession conviction needs to have been for under 4 ounces and have occurred between the year 2000 and September 2015, when the state decriminalized cannabis. Also, if the conviction was before the year 2000 or between October 2015, when the state decriminalized cannabis, and June 2021, people will have to file a court petition.
I have been to jail so many times for cannabis, and nobody was ever there for me like you, Benji.
I got lucky. I got followed a bunch, but I never got in trouble.
That's not lucky. You almost were murdered. I got followed a lot.
I did meet Joey Buttafuoco.
Oh, that's right. You actually did meet Joey. I remember that.
We were at the Green, or we were at the, where were we? We were in L.A. at the nightclub. And he was there at the next table with the radio personality. It was for Mean Green and Real One's first cup, the Cali Cup. We were there with Greenleaf.
Are you trying to talk around your microphone?
No, you turned me down.
No, I didn't. Your voice went down.
No, my voice doesn't go down.
You can hear. You're on.
I'm on.
Just when you're digging in your purse,
like
then
I said,
it was all weird.
It was great. No, we all had a great time that night.
Joey Buttafuoco. How do we know who Joey Buttafuoco knows, Benji?
That's right. It was a Rainbow Room.
Much
We
listen
all
to
hung out at.
Joey Buttafuoco.
He's like, you're the second you I know.
What else you got in the news, Mr. Cooper?
That was my stories. I'm just glad to see that when these states are continuing to legalize cannabis, and that a lot of them, when they do, are implementing these expungement policies in their bills. So people that are living with something on their record don't have to do it anymore, just because it's legal now. Why should they have that on their record anymore?
I've had that problem because for my whole last 23 years, I have lived in federal housing. So I have been told that if I make $1 federally, with anything to do with cannabis, I will lose my housing. So I have shoved my costume and my museum so far up their ass it hurts.
And that's where the fudge was coming from.
That's just legal now.
Benji, you had her fudge back at HempCons, didn't you ever have her pocket fudge?
I believe I did, yes.
Yes, I know it did. It was always melted by the time it got around to everybody, but it was always good.
Fudge. I do want to say thank you to everybody for today's show. Benji Cooper with all his news and educational stuff. Without it, I would just be me fumbling. Mr. Paul Brumbaugh from Edge Studios Online back there for the last 70% of the show was amazing, sir. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we are slowly
He overcame his high.
And we realized why they were going into their phone call was not going into it. So.
Oh, okay. So at least you figured out your problem.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's good.
That's
At least you
awesome.
got some new things worked out for you.
We are getting it all together for you guys. We used to do the show like 4 hours a day? How long were we doing the show initially? 2 hours?
I think we started out doing 2 hours and we chopped it down to 1, and
Yeah.
that just kind of became our standard.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll stick with that standard. You can follow Benji at NugLife News on Instagram. Make sure you follow him there.
Miss you, Benji.
Amy, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is AmyFisher420, and then I have a Facebook page for the Traveling Hemp Museum. So everybody, please, if you'd like to learn something, please reach out. We'll be more than happy. Also, we have, if anybody ever wants to go on a cannabis farm tour, please reach out to me. Mendo Gardens has offered to do farm tours for us. So if we get a list of people who want to go up and visit the farm, we're more than welcome to come see it.
Remember when we used to hide that shit?
Now we can go
Place is gonna get
frolic,
robbed
okay?
by tomorrow. What? Farm thing? Bring the U-Haul.
No progress.
Amy, thank you for coming in. A
Oh,
big
you're
shout
so
out.
welcome, Mikey.
And thank you to Mr. Tim Blake for taking the time to talk with us and let people know that the Emerald Cup is coming up this Saturday, December 10th. You know what I did is I forgot about our 2-minute layover, so I actually have 4 minutes instead of 2 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk slower. Thank you, Tim Blake, for the Emerald Cup. On December 10th, this week, and the 11th, of course, change your pants. Very important. It's the one rule of Emerald Cup, don't have
Bring an
snowy
umbrella.
pants. And bring an umbrella. Saturday is going to rain, but it rains every Emerald Cup, so
That's what I'm saying. Remember,
you
change your
should
clothing and
not.
umbrella.
Why do you have that far away from the mic?
I'm sorry.
There you go. See how much better?
I know,
Can they could hear us? Right? She hears herself.
My voice carries.
Amy from the back. Make sure you follow everybody online. TheEmeraldCup.com is where you can get information about the Emerald Cup and getting yourself tickets. VIP is highly recommended. Trust us.
Oh, yes.
Get
It's
your
so much
VIP.
fun to hang out with everybody backstage.
Yeah, it's a
We have
different-
E40 at this event, people. Come on.
Hey, come on.
We have Mendo Dope, though, Sunday.
You
That's
sure
what I'm
you're not
looking
that
forward
Amy
to.
Fisher?
I'm so looking forward to Mendo Dope on Sunday, though. That's what
Oh,
I'm
Mendo
going
Dope.
for.
I seen those guys
I love
from the
Men- I love the
beginning of
boys.
time when they were just children.
I
with the-
know. We watched
rolling
them
their
grow up.
first
My
joint.
makes me feel old.
And now these are grown men. They sound
And they
fantastic
have
too.
their own children.
And they do. That tends to happen. They have their own children.
E40 stayed at a hotel I was working at years ago. When I came into work that night, he was already off doing his show, but when I walked into the building, the entire lobby just smelled like weed.
And that was the first day I ever smoked.
No, it was
It's
just
been a downhill battle since then.
I smoked before that day.
You can follow me
Before I
at
came.
Medicinal Mike or Medicinal Mike. I'm not sure which one I am. I think I'm Medicinal Mike on Instagram.
Yep.
Michael Boris in the real life. And make sure you check out my book. I wrote a book. It's got nothing to do with cannabis or weed, but it's amazing. It's a young adult's book. It's called The Trail of Tears, available on Amazon. Yeah, I did that. You write a book this year, Benji? That's what I'm talking about. Actually, you wrote 1,500 articles.
I do a lot of reading. It's just not in book form, and then I do a lot of writing.
Yeah, I could have like filled 10 books with what you've written and news articles just over the last year. You're carrying that company on your shoulders.
Good work. We need the education.
That's right. Yeah, and Benji Cooper is just about educating the entire world by himself right now, and he just keeps doing it. You're looking pale. They need to let you out into the sunlight. Is that your lighting? You got like the vampire thing going on.
Do I?
Yeah, black
Yeah,
on
you
black.
do.
No. Okay.
Very
That might
gothy.
be,
You're
this
usually a
light
little
over
more
here.
tan.
I'll adjust my lighting. This is only week 2 of the show, so I'm still kind of figuring stuff out.
Yeah, we'll have it down. By week 18, we're going to be flying on this baby. That's when I call Rob Van Dam and Godfather and we get him in. All right, we're ready. Bring him.
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. It's Edge Studios Online. That is a beautiful building at the Oddfellas in San Francisco, so make sure you check it out. We're going to go take some video of some fentanyl people And
go smoke another
it's
joint.
going to be great. Blow weed in their faces. And then they're going to blow fentanyl in our faces. And then Paul's just going to fall over dead. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned next week. I think I'm going to have Turkey Tammy, who has a heart of gold. She's doing awesome things. And she helps out homeless people and stuff. And she hates that I want to step over fentanyl people because I don't love them. Screw your day problems. You're listening to Medicinal Mike. See you next week with Benji Cooper.
Later.
Did you do the button? Did he do the button? You could... No?